Hey there, Starshines. Tangent Spinner here, spinner of tangents and rants of random. I am back with another Let's Read of WebMage. We're on part 2 of chapter 5. Where we left off, they had sex, because of course they did. And by they I mean Rayvern and Cerise, whose name I keep messing up. I keep, calling her Cersei, Cerise, Cersei, mostly Cersei. Obviously I have Games of Thrones on the mind, even though I haven't seen that since the Red Wedding because that shit fucked me up. Oh my god. Nothing has ever horrified me that much. Holy shit. But anyway, no Game of Thrones talks. We're on to WebMage. Also, little update thing. Fish. Pancake is still alive and well. She's doing good. I'm really glad that I moved her down to the 2.5 gallon tank just because since I don't have a working heater, I'm getting that tomorrow. There will be a video. The smaller tank doesn't stay as cold as the bigger tanks did. So she's doing really well still. She's eating, she's swimming around, she's going underneath and around pancakes, pasta's head. She's doing great, guys. Tomorrow there will be a video. Tomorrow as in Tuesday. Me, my little sister Haley, and my mother, the two of them you've met on a cinnamon roll video and Slice of Life. But we will be going to get the new fish and the new heater and maybe some other things. Probably not, but probably some more water conditioner. Yeah, no, definitely more water conditioner. I need water conditioner. But yeah, these fish will not be replacement fish, but they're replacement fish. I'm getting another Dalmatian Molly for Laura, so because Sharkbait was her fish and Sharkbait died. I'm gonna probably get another creamsicle just because they're very pretty. Depending on the price of the heaters we find and the water conditioner, I may or may not be getting a silver lyre-tail as well because they're really pretty. We will have to look and see. The creamsicle will probably not be named Parfait. I really liked the name Parfait because we'll have Sharkbait the second and maybe Parfait the second. I haven't decided. If I do get the silver one, I was thinking like Panini or something. I don't know. I like food names and pea names for my fish. I don't know why. We will have to wait and see though. But yeah, that's plans for tomorrow. I'm going to get to reading now, okay guys? We still have several pages until the end. We may be making a third part. We probably will. There's a decent amount between here and the time skip looking thing. So, let's get reading, guys. The futon in Alan's guest room wasn't a Parisian inn, but it was wide enough for two, and it's where we ended our day. I wish this moment could last forever, I said. Nothing lasts forever, said Cerise, lifting her head from my chest. I'm going to have to leave soon. My doctoral duties are calling. I've learned some things. Hold on, sorry. It's just Mom texting. I've learned some things at the new experimental computing department at Harvard that I think will help with this computer recycling project I'm working on. She frowned, and her voice became tight. I can't stand all the waste. The family of Fates needs to realize there are places to take an old system besides the junk heap. It makes me so mad sometimes No, never mind. I don't want to start that discussion now. What I started to say was that I've got an oral exam tomorrow. If I miss it, Clotho will have a fit. I sighed. I empathize. Lachesis isn't going to forgive me anytime soon for bringing the MWeb down. Missing midterms on top of that has guaranteed my place at the top of her shit list. I promised her I'd do well in my studies this year. Now she's never going to believe another word I say. Of course, that was because of the curse, but I couldn't tell Cerise that. I couldn't tell Cerise anything without sounding like the worst sort of liar. I wanted to tell her everything, to let her know I hadn't hacked Atropos.web and crashed the MWeb just for the fun of it. But I couldn't. Atropos hadn't just shut my mouth, she'd put me in an invisible cage around me. I was a prisoner of silence. Cerise didn't say anything more either, and we lay quietly and held each other until the door banged open. Rise and shine, said Shara, poking her head into the room. You've got a test to take. Melchior followed her in. That's my execue, said Cerise, rolling out of bed. She started pulling on her clothes. When she got to the skirt that was missing a button, she looked irritated. I wish you'd let me handle that, she said, producing a safety pin from somewhere. I'm sorry, do you want me to fix it? I don't have time. Maybe when I see you next, I said. I really enjoyed our day together, and I wanted a repeat as soon as possible. I'm sure it'll be fixed before that, said Cerise without even glancing my way. Shara, initiate LTP link. MTP imweb.decklocus.prime.-0208/harvard.edu. Mark Hammondorm 217. Execute. Executing, said Shara. She worked quickly, getting an active gate up in no time. Cerise stepped into the column of light. Wait, I called, when can I see you next? I don't know. My schedule's going to be awful for the next month or two. Drop me an email and we'll see if we can work something out. Ciao. But Cerise, It was too late. She was gone and I missed her already. Ouch, said Melchior, shaking his head. What? I asked. Nothing really. But the only other place I've seen a brushback like that was on a baseball field. I wanted to argue, but I found I couldn't. She had thrown her parting comment like a pitcher trying to move a batter away from the plate. That hurt. It also seemed perfectly emblematic of how things had gone ever since my little tete-a-tete with Atropos about puppeteer. Checking the time. I'd finally found a woman who I thought I might be able to build a relationship with, and she'd loved me and left me. I tried to go back to sleep, but being alone with the scent of lilacs lingering in the air was simply too much. I decided it was time I stopped back at my dorm. I'd left some important things there in the escape from my cousins, like Melchior's backups and my extra spell files and research materials. If I wanted to have another go at Atropos, I'd need all of it. Sighing wearily, I ordered Melchior to take us home. My knee felt like someone had put a burr under the cap, but I had thought I could run if I had to, and I didn't know how much time I had left to stop Atropos. As Melchior set up the LTP link, I sent a mental request to the faceless goddess of necessity to allow my doppelganger ploy to have worked. Being dead for a while would come in mighty handy. Before I left, I recorded a quick message for Cerise. Cerise, I don't think I'm going to say this very well. Glib is my natural style, and these calls for something else. Today was special. I'm feeling things for you that I'd like to explore in depth. I want this to be more than just a passing fancy. I know you said you'd be busy, but please get in touch with me soon. I want to see you again. Sign it and send it, I told Melchior. Then, we're out of here. He looked as though he was thinking about adding some editorial commentary, but he must have read my look because he just nodded. I'm going to read to the next little time skip thing. First, I'm going to pause this, switch over to another video, so it's going to be about a little bit of a skip here. So 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Alright, we're back. My dorm had never seemed so appallingly dingy. 15 days had passed in the U of M decision locus, and Rod hadn't taken the desecration of his beloved Toby Keith poster lightly. The beer he'd poured on my bed in revenge had had time to go completely skunky, almost masking the smell of Rod's widely scattered dirty clothes. Rod's cleaning skills were rudimentary at best, but he'd really outdone himself this time. I wasn't planning on staying, but if I ever wanted to return, I couldn't leave things as they were. Melchior, White Tornado, execute. Mel gave me a particularly nasty look before going into berserk cleaning mode. While he tidied the general mess, I went after the bed. My blanket and sheet would have to go straight into the trash bag. I thought the pillow might be salvageable, but decided to flip it off the bed with my rapier in case Rod had done something nasty to it as well. As the tip of my sword touched the pillow, there came a flash of black like a little explosion of night, and a shock of magic raced up the steel to my hand. The flesh of my palm began to blister even before the blackness started to flow up the blade. As the dark cloud slid towards me, the tempered steel of the sword wilted like a candle in a furnace. Turning, I threw the blade. The hilt ripped free of my burning hand with an awful popping sound like the instant before the darkness consumed it. Awful popping sound in the instant before the darkness consumed it. Plywood covered the lower half of my window, but the mass of blackness and molten metal punched right through, leaving a smoking hole in its wake. Melchior, program abort, execute! My voice was clear and calm. Oh, sorry. So it's more of Melchior. Program abort. Execute. It was shock, of course, but I'd take what I could get. Melchior stopped cleaning. Come here and tell me how bad this is, I said. I didn't want to look at it, not when it hurt that much, and not when the scent of burned meat hanging in the air. After inspecting the damage, he let out a low whistle. Ouch! Either Rod's getting more sophisticated in the revenge department, or Tropos wasn't content with the results of her hit team. I wonder how she knew you were still alive. Who knows? She could have seen through burnt offerings, or checked my life thread in the fake core, or even just emailed Hades about whether I'd arrived or not. How isn't important. The question is, what the hell do I do now? You could start by thanking Rod for being such a shithead, said Melchior. I had to agree. Under any other circumstances, I'd probably have flopped into my bunk when I got in. And if that had been my head hitting the pillow instead of my sword, I was going to have to start being very careful. The official attempt on my life might have failed, but that didn't mean Atropos was going to kiss and make up. Hey, boss, said Melchior, sniffing around the head of the bed. I think there's more to this. He didn't trail off. I did. I could see his lips moving, but the ringing in my ears drowned him out. I felt my knees buckling. Melchior, I tried to say, but I couldn't hear my own voice. 911. Execute. The order authorized him to take whatever action he felt necessary to deal with the situation, including using magic independently. I was quite proud to have remembered to try it under the circumstances. My last thought before I went under was that it was too bad that I didn't know if I'd actually said it. Alright. We're going to end there. It's going to be a shorter part 3, but we know some things now. Cerise kind of just, it's like, I don't want to say anything bad because, first of all, I already know how they end up and what all happens and everything like that, and I understand to a degree their points of view and shit. So Raven caught feels after/before sex. Cerise really wanted sex with him, and at this point it looks like she didn't really catch feels, or she's being a tsundere, and it's just like, shut up, I don't love you, fuck you, where are you going? Kind of mindset. Personally, I think Cerise is acting more like it was more like a one-night stand, and Raven thought it meant something, and Cerise is being what I am, and it's doing completely practical, and it's like, okay, I have to go put my studies beforehand, but love you, bye, kind of attitude. But yeah, no. So Cerise kind of loved him and left him, like he said. He got a little butthurt about it. Decided to go back to his college dorm room instead of just, like, I don't know. He couldn't have just sent, like, Melchior through to collect his things or something like that, and then come back with them. I don't know. But then again, Melchior's not Dobby. And then somebody cursed his bed. He's injured and unconscious now, so we're leaving it off at a bit of a cliffhanger. Obviously, he doesn't die, because we still have all this and the 4 other books. But, yeah, no. We'll see what happens next time, okay, guys? Tangent's gonna spin on out of here. Y'all know how YouTube works. Like, comment, subscribe, dislike, unfollow. Yeah, meh, whatever. Y'all know what to do. So, yeah, gonna spin on out. You guys, have a nice night, alright? And remember, you're all my Starshines, okay? Alright, good night.